Galatiyim chapter 2. Then after 14 years I again went up to Jerusalem with Barnabas, taking Titus along too. And I went up by revelation, and laid before them that good news which I proclaim among the nations, but separately to those who were esteemed, lest somehow I run, or had run, in vain. But not even Titus, who was with me, though a Greek, was compelled to be circumcised. But as for the false brothers, sneakingly brought in, who sneaked in to spy out our freedom which we have in Messiah Yehoshua, in order to enslave us, to these we did not yield in subjection, not even for an hour, so that the truth of the good news remains with you. But from those who were esteemed to be what they were, it makes no difference to me. Elohim shows no partiality, for those who were esteemed contributed naught to me. But on the contrary, when they saw that the good news to the uncircumcised had been entrusted to me, even as Kepha to the circumcised, for he who worked in Kepha to make him an emissary to the circumcised, also worked in me for the nations. So when Yaakov, Kepha, and Yochanan, who seemed to be supports, came to know the favor that had been given to me, they gave me and Barnabas the right hand of fellowship, in order that we go to the nations, and they to the circumcised, only that we might remember the poor, which I myself was eager to do. And when Kepha had come to Antioch, I withstood him to his face, because he was at fault. For before some came from Yaakov, he was eating with the nations, but when they came, he began to withdraw and separate himself, in fear of those of the circumcision. And the rest of the Yehudim joined him in hypocrisy, so that even Barnabas was led away by their hypocrisy. But when I saw that they are not walking straight according to the truth of the good news, I said to Kepha before them all, If you, being a Yehudi, live as the nations and not as the Yehudim, why do you compel nations to live as Yehudim? We, Yehudim by nature, and not of the nations, sinners, knowing that a man is not declared right by works of Torah, but through belief in Yehoshua Messiah, even we have believed in Messiah Yehoshua, in order to be declared right by belief in Messiah, and not by works of Torah, because by works of Torah no flesh shall be declared right. And if, while seeking to be declared right by Messiah, we ourselves also are found sinners, is Messiah then a servant of sin? Let it not be. For if I rebuild what I once overthrew, I establish myself a transgressor. For through Torah I died to Torah, in order to live to Elohim. I have been impaled with Messiah, and I no longer live, but Messiah lives in me. And that which I now live in the flesh I live by belief in the Son of Elohim, who loved me and gave himself for me. I do not set aside the favor of Elohim, for if righteousness is through Torah, then Messiah died for naught.